Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am bringing you a Let's Talk video. Another one actually. I've got a lot to talk about, which is fun. Anyway, this one, as you can see from the title, is about Instagram. So there have been a number of scandals lately where I think a lot of us know that it went on, but there are a number of people buying followers on Instagram, and some of them are actually allowing themselves to be sponsored by brands, knowing that they've sort of cheated the system. So I wanted to talk about it because I have been on Instagram since it started, since goodness knows when, and I found Instagram by mistake, and I have posted so many photos and I loved it. I've had a real love-hate relationship with it over the last few months because I wanted to try and make it more professional, give myself a theme, really try and engage with more people. So there's a couple of things that happened that have really rocked the boat with Instagram. One is they changed the algorithm, and everybody, and this is a problem, it starts to become about popularity rather than content, and the people that follow you aren't seeing your posts. Very similar to YouTube, I suppose, in some ways, but it just becomes, if you're popular and you get loads of comments, then people are going to find you. And it's not about, for me, being popular. I just want the people who follow me be able to see my posts when I post them in a chronological order. I think that's what social media is about, isn't it? It's about being instant, not about finding a post a few days later and then liking it. It just doesn't seem right. So I'm quite fortunate because I've been on for so long. I've built my Instagram followers to about 3.3k. However, it's been that way for a really long time. I go from 3,305 to 3,335, literally on a weekly basis, up and down, up and down. And there's a huge culture of follow, unfollow, which everybody knows about. It happens on everything. People want you to follow them and then they'll unfollow you, and it becomes really disheartening because when people follow you and unfollow you, you just think, is my content good enough? Are they not sticking around because they don't enjoy it? Or is it actually because they're just trying to grow Instagram in a way that isn't about their creativity? And so I've been thinking about it, and I have 3.3k followers on Instagram, and I think that's a huge amount of people. In fact, that's more than my YouTube channel. Whether all of them realise they're following me, maybe there's some that don't even know, but I do feel like there is part of me that wants to stop. I don't see the point in me creating photos that aren't being seen, that aren't being appreciated. I wouldn't care if I had 100 followers or 3,000 followers. I would like people to appreciate the hard work that's going into it. The other thing that Instagram started doing is if you use the same hashtags. Now they're saying that you shouldn't use hashtags in order to promote your photos or use the same ones. They want you to use variety. So the reason I use the same hashtags is because I feel like it builds community, that I can go to that hashtag myself and find like-minded people like me posting the same things, and I can find people to follow. So now that they've started doing this thing called shadow banning, which if you use, and they're doing it all the time, if you overuse a hashtag, they ban your photo so it doesn't get seen. What is the point? I don't understand that. Part of me wants to find a new arena to post these photos, and there are a number of different ways to get your photos out there. I mean, maybe I could start going back to Facebook. Again, it's that they've got an algorithm that doesn't let people see things in chronological order. All about sponsorship. It's all about making money, and the people that are making money are not us. Like, I'd understand if we were making a bob or two out of it, and that would be amazing, but we're not making any money from it. So what can we do? So there was a number of things how people were trying to beat the algorithm, and I joined a number of comment pods, and I spent a lot of time building relationships, and I absolutely, and it wasn't fake, because I feel like the people in those pods I got to know, I became friends with, we commented on photos. I used to comment on other photos of theirs, not just the ones they would send to the pod, but actually it was a lot of hard work for no reward. Like, of course I got friends out of it and I'm really pleased, but I've now come out of the pod and I'm still friends with them. So it's just a bizarre problem to have. It's a real first world problem to have, but it's also so frustrating. The thing is, I work really hard. I have a day job, and so does everybody else, you know, unless you actually do this as a full-time thing. Most people have a day job that they enjoy and they work hard. When they get home, they've got a few hours to spend with their partner, their dog, their kids, whatever it might be, even on their own. And then they go to bed and then they wake up for the rest of the working week. And that's how it goes. You know, you might have your house to tidy, you might have your car to clean, you might have a doctor's appointment. But I managed to fit in as well Instagram, liking, sharing, commenting on posts. I share blog posts, I share videos, and as you know, I've been doing Everyday May, which I love, by the way. I absolutely love being on YouTube no matter what. And even then I'm getting a bit angsty about whether to even, that's another story, I don't know, but I'm staying with YouTube, I'm not going anywhere. It's a massive creative outlet for me. But trying to get it all in is becoming a challenge. So I've set myself little timetables. I allow myself a certain amount of time. I only allow myself to work on things like blogs and Instagram and stuff after I've actually done home stuff. But I am getting a maximum of about 5 hours sleep a night, and it is exhausting. I can do that, I can survive on that, but it is really tiring. I would like to. The thing is, you do give up things like time for the things you love, and I do love it. And I love thinking about creative ways to do Instagram, but I just feel like it's losing its sense of, not morality, uniqueness and originality. Like, everybody's trying to be Insta famous, which means that's why they've started all this sponsored post stuff. I wish it could just be back to what it was, where you were just sharing your life through photos and it was a chronological instant thing, but it's not. So at the moment, I don't know if I'm going to carry on with Instagram. I'd like to try and find a different outlet that does do the chronological thing, that maybe, you know, it's easy enough to switch just from app to app. I think that there is a community out there that would appreciate the time you take to take photos and upload. And the difficulty is watching people buy followers is just so demoralising. Don't get me wrong, some of them have amazing photographs, but I wish they just tried on their own. It also sort of makes you think, who is using Instagram? If you cannot get 50,000 followers without buying them, that means there isn't actually 50,000 people out there that are that interested. So maybe it's time to give up. Maybe it's time for there to be a mass walk from Instagram and onto something else. Don't know what that is at the moment, chaps. You might have some ideas. You might be using something else. I'd love to know, because I really want to start connecting again. My channel, my Instagram, my Twitter and my Facebook are all based on community. I feel like I have you guys as an online community. I have friends online. I've made really good friends online through YouTube, through all of these things. I just really want to get back to the basics of social media. The whole point is to be social. You know, a lot of us have jobs that we get paid to do, and unless you're in that top, you know, 1% of people that have millions of followers, you're never going to give up your day job. So it's time to start thinking about what's next. How do we start socializing on it? The whole point of social media is to create that community, to socialize with somebody else and have like-minded objectives and things that you enjoy. I don't know the answer. You can tell that I'm really perplexed. I'm trying not to be stressed about it, but it does really make me feel like, is it worth it? and I'd just like to know from you what you think. So let me know, comment down below. You guys know that I will try and respond, or at least give a heart to, I will try to respond to comments as much as possible, and I really do try. So it would be really wonderful to hear from you, and give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to. Again, it's all about community and social media and being social, so there's no pressure. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.